Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We are, in the last episode, we finally finished off our geology map. I think that's what it's called, geological map or something to that effect. So now we kind of know what's happening around here. And we can see that we've got quite a distance to travel, unless we go across the river, quite a distance to travel to get access to coal. So our starting location is not great for coal, which is a bit of a interesting situation, because usually you would try and get at least start close to coal, which means we might have to transition into rail a little bit quicker than otherwise, or we need to build another city probably somewhere out here. If I click that, if we build another city somewhere out here, right, with a lot of coal access close by, we can do that kind of a bit of a mining city. That's something that we could consider. Then if we go here, oh, actually we've got wow, that's interesting. It's just on the ground there. Anyway, if we have to take out one field to get a better mining system going on, that's absolutely fine. We can add another field over here. So we can repurpose that. That's not the end of the world there. We can obviously also get iron here. Now iron, unless we do the train thing, we can't make a reasonable income out of iron ore. Iron ore, so close to the border, potentially we could run a train back and forth and get huge amounts of iron ore out of the way. Is that something we can do? We'll have a look at that now. And then, of course, the other one is oil. So over here, we've got a few different sources of oil. So thinking oil and fuel is probably one of the next things we'll have a look at. That is potentially where we're going to start seeing our fortunes change with regards to income. Income at the moment is not looking great, but somewhere over here, this is where we can probably make a change. We still have $1 million here, so we could set up another industry and get that funded through dollars, though that would be pretty expensive. Now, quickly want to have a look at what we can do from an export perspective. So if we look at just the standard costs of things, explosives, actually, how do you do explosives? Let's have a quick look. What is the requirement for explosives? Because that's something we could make a fair bit of money on. Nuclear fuel is an enormous amount of money, and it uses, but we don't have the research to do that. So that's not something that's going to happen to us straight away. Even these UF6s and stuff, even though they're quite expensive, but we just can't make that. Plastics, yeah. Wondering whether you can import plastic waste and make plastic from it, or something to that effect. Anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. What I wanted to have a look at is iron ore. If we have a look at iron ore, it's just not, even at 100 tons, it's 800. So do that by, geez, it's an enormous amount that you need to do. Obviously, if you process it, it goes better. So we don't have the workers to sustain something like that, because you need a lot of workers to even just run the mine. So I don't know, the fuel is probably better. Fuel and bitumen is probably going to be a better one for us. We just won't be able to make a reasonable amount of money from iron ore, even if we do decide to set that up. Now, everything here is kind of running along smoothly. We're busy building our incinerator power plant so that we can transition away from just burning stuff to actually generating some electricity and running more imports of waste from the border and polluting our area while doing it, of course. But that's the kind of thing that I would like to have a look at. We're going to have to build some more of these. At least we've got some free ones, at least, that we can make use of. And then the question is really, where do we tie this thing up? Do we potentially run a cable up here somewhere? We should be able to run a high capacity or high voltage cable up here, and maybe put in something in this location where we split it off. Yeah, maybe just a splitter, so we split it off into the various directions. We'll have to think about that a little bit, but I think there's something there where we could potentially power ourselves, plus potentially get a bit of exports going on. And obviously, if we getting getting paid for the imports of the products, that would be good as well. Okay, there we go. Let's have a quick look at what's going on with regards to research. We are currently researching durable prefab panels for bigger buildings. That's something that's important. Starting to work on a tourism study. I don't quite know if that's something that'll give us generate a lot of money, but maybe because we've got most of the things that tourists need around here, maybe if we did build a little hotel somewhere, we could sort that out. Let's have a quick look. If we go to tourism, we can in fact build a small hotel already. So if we were to build something like a small hotel, and it can accommodate some tourists, and maybe that's worth our while. Uses prefab panels, this one, versus bricks, that one. They're both pretty easy to build. What was this? New vehicle? Ooh, okay. Excuse me. Okay, so workers is coming in. Population is certainly growing. Unemployment is as low as it's ever been, so we do need to get a little bit more going. There's 17 prisoners that's not actively working, which is something that I would like us to work on as well. Okay, we need a couple of extra vehicles over here. At the moment, we don't have a roller, right? We don't have a roller or a paver, and those are the two things that I think we should at least pick up. Can we pick up? So this is all we can pick up from there. How much does this carry? That's not a bad size, actually. That's enormous, but that's not a bad size either. So 13 tons of crops at 90 kilometers an hour is not bad. So we could potentially use these trucks a little bit more often. Okay, so we can't get the things we need there. Here we will need a roller, so I'll buy one. And we will also need a paver, and so I'll buy one. They're not that pricey. So at least we've got the ability to now start working on a little bit better road infrastructure. So for the time being, this guy's got everything it needs. So what I'll do is let's start on that little section there and get our stuff up and running. I did see here, okay, so now our loyalty is starting to look much better. So hopefully over time our loyalty will go up. Happy to see that. What I do know is this guy, I don't think has access to the trash connection. Now there are vehicles that can pick that up, but I'd also like us to see if we can't improve that situation a little bit by building, say, a footpath through. Well, what I would like to do is build multiple footpaths, actually. If we were to run something like this, right? So that's one item there. And then I'm kind of keen on doing that because I believe this may give us access to. If we were to do this, I think that will kind of work things out. So let's do that. I'm not going to fund that altogether. We'll get the guys to come and build them. Could have done probably connected over there, but we can't get in there anyway at the moment. So let's just keep that going. we can continue to think a little bit about tourism, but I think the real one for us is to start thinking about what our oil industry in this area looks like. So we've got probably, if we look at oil, we can do pump jacks. So we've got this guy. So it's okay. We can just build it nice and close to this road. We can feed it out that way or something. So we'll have pretty decent pump jacks in this area. We could probably do at least two in this area, two very high yield ones there, which wouldn't be bad. And then we can expand it from there. These are not too expensive to build. So if we were to say, if we were to say do one at like 75% over there, just planning at the moment. We can also get another at like 60% over here. Let's flip it around. $60? Yeah, 60. Ooh, 61. 61 seems to be the best we can get. 75 and 61 over here. So that's kind of a bit of a starting point. We may be able to squeeze something else on this side. Not that I'm thinking it's going to be useful. Maybe in there. Kind of wonder if I redo this again. So the idea really, I think, is if you place these right, you want to try and maximize. So if we would have had 75, 60, and maybe 20, right? So let's see if we instead say grab ourselves, by not being too greedy, by grabbing 60. We try and average ourselves at 60, right? There we go. Let's just see if we do this and that, and then we could do, see, almost another 60 over here. Not quite 60 though, but I think ultimately we'll generate more than we would have otherwise. So if we said 75 plus 60, that gives us that's like 25. So that gives us 135 plus 20 gives us about 155 percentage, right? And now we've got 60 plus 60 plus 50 gives us, well, actually, it's rather the same, to be honest. It's 60 plus 60 is 120, so a little bit more. So this does give us a little bit more, actually. So up to about 53 there. Let's flip that around. Actually, flip it again and just swing it around. So something like that gives us a pretty reasonable spin of these things, right? So that gives us a pretty good distribution there. And they're very, very, just the placement has just moved very slightly on, and any one of them is not going to generate as much. So that's kind of a bit of a starting point in terms of what we're looking at over there. I want to also continue to keep an eye on these guys. We do need more and more workers to come in here all the time. So I may procure it. Wow, we're full. We are full. Hang on, have a look at that. We are actively full. We need more. We need more housing. Okay, let's definitely make a start on the housing. On the housing front, this guy is seeing stuff being delivered here or not? Are we getting it? Yeah, there's an asphalt truck coming in. Okay, let's get more housing coming in. I don't necessarily want to go up to the biggest flats straight away. But what we will try and do is maximize our quality. So at the moment, we're running 94% quality. So I would like to make sure that we run a continuous, reasonable quality here. So what is this, 143? At 87%. So we're actively... Oh, but it's much more steel for these. Okay, well, then we're definitely going to start making a move in the other direction. These are better quality. These are definitely better quality there. Shall we wait? About 50% through it. Can I up this a little bit more? Get it done a little quicker. Yeah, so I'm not going to build any more of these. They don't seem to be an effective use for us. So let's have a look. Maybe we can start building one other one. Maybe something like a 90%er. 91%. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good one. That is a pretty good one. 91%. Yeah, that's a pretty reasonable number. So what I would think of, can we build... To be honest, we probably need to build it in this area. Yeah, I'm just thinking there's probably a little bit for us to do in this area. We've got water, we've got sewage connections. Yeah, so let's do that. I'm going to try and keep it at least slightly more interesting in terms of our allocations here. If we were to do one there, one there and say one here. But we don't have water access. Well, let's make sure we get water access. There we go. So something like that, I think, is pretty useful. And it looks quite interesting as well. We can see how we run things through there. Of course, this would need a little bit of road access. I think that is about right over there. I like that. And we'll make a start on that one. So let's just go ahead and get that allocated. And so we'll see about getting that piece of path slowly built. I think that's going to be a good little extra section for us. We can certainly run these paths through here in a variety of different ways. We still have access here if we wanted to up our numbers, our quantities here by getting as an extra warehouse, but for this time being, we're just going to slowly try and get this done. It'll slowly happen. We can speed things up a little bit. Now, what I want to do is just keep an eye on this. So if we're not actively constructing a lot of stuff, it means that it's again these guys. Now the question is, I wanted us to I don't want to keep doing this, right? I don't want to keep doing this, but we potentially have to have a look at these lines, right? And say, at the gravel quarry, you need to not wait until load. Let's just take that off. So we'll save that. So now, if you stop loading, you'll leave. And the same over here. Let's have a look at this line at the quarry. Don't wait until you load it, and then just go. So we'll stop that traffic jam, sort that out, and we can maybe stop one. Oh, we've finished the tourism study. So if we pop in here, have a look at what's the next big thing. So advanced hotel standards, air traffic, container, tourist visas. Reduces necessary agenda to issue visas for citizens of Western countries. Well, let's start with the Soviet countries. Make a start on that for us, please. Yeah, this is getting done. Hopefully we can get that connected there. Okay, good stuff. That's a good starting point. If our construction industry doesn't go too crazy, we tend to have a reasonable piece. What did we import in terms of vehicles? Oh, yeah, it was the extra, the paver and the roller. This is going quite slow, actually. We're missing asphalt. It's just the number of vehicles that's available to bring it, because we have everything here, right? We've got bitumen, we've got gravel. So all of this is actually working. We've got, none of this is problematic. What we can also have a bit of a look at, got the steel available, but yeah, this will ultimately, when we start getting into steel here, that will become quite costly for us. And so we do need to keep an eye on that. I want to keep an eye on this. This is looking really healthy. And what I would like to do is see more workers at all of these facilities. So we are running slow on a lot of this stuff due to workers. Workers is an issue for us. So hopefully that will give us a little bit more. If we were to say, can we do this and say how much it'll be? If I were to do that, it didn't actually tell me a number. Okay, so that's not great. But actually what we could do is let's build these with, let's actually just build this with dollars and see where that goes. So we had 320. So $40,000 really. Okay, so there we go. People are immediately moving in and they have nowhere to go. So actually what I do need to do is let's fix this straight away. Yeah, so we'll try and pay for this by rubles. That's going to be a little bit easier on us. So at least now they've got immediate access to, I think, things that they need. So they should have walking access to, yeah, absolutely everything they need. Maybe not to a university, certainly, but maybe not to a hospital, to a university, maybe not to sporting stuff. They can probably get, they can get to the cinema, but they can't get to any sporting venues. So we may need to have a little bit of a further expanding look at that. So with that in mind, we can now probably make a start on some additional construction. So what I'll do is I'll do one on that side and one on this side. And we will go ahead and make that starting point happen there. So at least now they can walk to this building here and come and work there. That's okay. They're also walking to this. Okay, good. So we're seeing more water coming through, which is, I'm happy with that. But anyway, they should have access to anything they need on this side as well. Don't have this open for business just yet. Happiness is going up, government loyalty is going up, and health is going up. And are we seeing a little bit more unemployment? Maybe not quite yet. Lots of people going in here. People are without jobs and the likes. Now we finish this off. So now I think the next one we should be looking at is potentially the fuel study or the chemistry one. But no, let's get the fuel study going. Chemistry might be important for us, but let's get the fuel study going, so that we can potentially start that fuel industry for us. We're pretty slow in terms of construction. We're really not great at that. Everything else is kind of holding up. We finished off this, but we don't have any workers out here just yet. And I kind of think that we can get workers out there if we were to run our little path through here. So let's have a look at that. If we run that path straight through there, I believe we'll sort ourselves out with workers. However, in the meantime, we do need to bring in fabrics and electronic components and mechanical components and electronics and the likes. Yeah, so let's have a look. So how are we going to do that? Our local can bring some of the stuff over from here. So we've got electronic components and mechanical components and electronics here. So certainly our local should potentially just go and have a look at dropping off whatever you can over there, right? So instead of loading, go and unload over there. Anything you can do that with. So basically you're going to pick it up over here, and if you've got it, it's going to go there. What it doesn't have is it doesn't have plastics, and it can't do fabrics at the moment. So what we can also do is we can come over here to the area master distribution and say that, well, what you can also do is you can pick up fabric over here, which is the only thing that's in there, and you can then, bring it in over here and unload that there. Now, what we don't want is food and alcohol to go there, which it won't get. The clothing warehouse, it's also distributing clothing. Clothing is not coming here. So really that should be fine. I will rename this to the, this is the Turmoilski. Hello. Turmoilski vehicle maintenance warehouse. Okay, something like that. So that gives me a little bit of an indication of what should be going in here, and we have set up our limits appropriately. So we should get fabrics, we should get electronic components, we should get mechanical components, we won't get plastics, and we should get electronics. So the only thing missing now is plastics. And the question really is, do we want to add more to this one here? I don't think so. Do we have anybody anywhere? Yeah, so we don't have that ability. So one of the things that we probably need to do is set up a larger distribution office here. So if we go distribution offices, that one gives us 12 vehicles. 4, 8. It's too much steel. I don't like all the steel that it's going to use. Probably just build this one. Oh, we can't squeeze it in? Come on, we have to be able to squeeze it in. There we go. So what I think we do is we start building ourselves another distribution office to potentially start replacing our imports. Do we? Or do we just build a smaller one down there? Let's have a look at maybe doing that. And we can get it pretty close. So we may be able to, if we do this, right, we may be able to build another small one in here over time. Let's cancel that. Try that again. Do something about... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, actually, let's do that. We'll start it off pretty long. And we'll see about that. Yeah, I like that. And then what we'll do is we'll just trim that out. And so we'll leave that there. We can get that starting construction on that as well. Slowly start building that. But for the time being, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, buddies, also please drop off some plastics over here for me. Only plastics, though. I only want you to be dropping off plastics there, and pretty minor amounts is okay. And then you can also do that. So I don't want you to bring anything but plastic over here from the border. So that's a bit of a, not ideal, but we're busy working on the rest of it. This thing is, you know, filling up pretty quickly, to be honest. Things are reasonable. Let's have a look at our crime stats. No, it's looking good. It's looking good. Now, I'm conscious we're seeing more and more of these guys, more and more prisoners, and we're not necessarily making appropriate use of them. So one of the things that I thought we could maybe do is get a bit of a lumber mill or something going on. And we can just get them to go and work the lumber mill. Wood. So if we just get a wood cutting post, so not the lumber mill, the wood cutting post, they would do pretty well with that. So I think, because we've got this area here, I think this could work kind of reasonably well, or we're pretty close to. So if I do it a little closer over here, though, need to be mindful that some form of rail might want to come out here. I think something like this will actually be okay. Let's get ourselves a wood cutting post over there, because if we go into chemicals, we'll also need wood at some point. Let's do that. What I'll do is I'll make a start with just a gravel road here. Probably don't need anything better than that just yet. We'll get that to move. At the same time, I may go ahead and plant some more trees here. So what do we have here? A lot of pine, and I do like the pine is a pretty reasonable one to be planting. So what I like about this, the idea that I'm doing here now, is we're making a start with a forest that's kind of already been here, and now we're just kind of improving that situation a little bit. I'm not necessarily, you know, planting my own forest from scratch, but we don't have massively dense forests, and so this little hill here with some level of forest is probably a good piece for us. Ooh, we've got a vehicle for transferring those prisoners once we get that into action. So now, with this in mind, are we actually seeing that happen? Perfect. So that is now going to the right place, and we don't need the smaller vehicles to be doing that anymore. How's our government loyalty? Garbage container is overfilled. So presumably things will be sorting themselves out over time. What does this look like? Yeah, government loyalty is slowly moving forward. Government loyalty over here is at 36%. Yeah, so we can't do crazy amounts of things with government loyalty just yet. Okay. Slowly get these things built for me. That's fine. That is fine. And we had our plastic waste over here. How much? Oh, so slow. It's not even worth our effort, to be honest. It's not even worth our effort. We are still waiting on asphalt? Really? Do we need a lot more vehicles. What's the situation? We could probably get a few more dumpers, right? Can we get US dumpers? No, we cannot. Or US Western dumpers? No Western dumpers available. And this is still plummeting to beneath. Well, actually, the last month, let's have a quick look at last month. So pause the game for a second, just before, so let's go to last month quickly. So we had amazing exports, and ultimately we did make money, right? So where did all of our, so this month it's been pretty hectic on the imports straight away. So last month, what did we import? Fuel, so that's important for us. Chemicals, probably a little bit away from that, but the rest is fairly manageable. Fuel and chemicals is the ones that we need to have a look at. Look at that hazardous waste that's kind of offsetting what's happening there. I like the fact that we're doing that. So what does that mean? So that's 5 plus, okay, so this is about 2, okay, so that's about 5, 16, so this is, that's okay. So that is offsetting it in an appropriate manner. So I'm happy that we're actually using that hazardous waste to offset it a little bit. Hopefully we can do a bit more of that over time. But anyway, that's slowly getting there. Yeah, foreign manpower is super pricey. And that's it. I want a few more dumpers. So let's just grab a couple more dumpers. The dumpers seem to be really high in demand. Just get a couple more here. Okay, hopefully that speeds things along a little bit. These will slowly get built. Asphalt's going there. What else are you missing in this location? Actually, you're missing workers at the moment. That's interesting. So we're just missing workers here. What's our workers look like over there? Pretty reasonable. You can, of course, walk there and go and work there. Yeah, so we're really drawing on our workforce at the moment. We just don't have the people here. What is that? Oh, that's the secret police. At a 36% loyalty. Yeah, reasonable. All reasonable. People are happy enough. Running up to 90% is not bad. Not bad at all. We're getting more and more prisoners. So yeah, getting a place for these guys to work is probably the right thing for us to do. Yeah, it's interesting how we've got a lot of construction projects underway. And we're kind of building gravel roads fairly effectively, but the rest seems to be very slow. This is an asphalt delivery, and now we can finish off this round. Now it's gonna cost us enormous amounts of money. Yeah, vehicle imports cost us a bit here now. This is gonna cost us a lot now. Now the steel comes, but hopefully we can generate power from waste as well. A lot of these buildings we're kind of learning is not necessary as early on as we are at the moment. This is at least working, doing its thing with regards to clothing, and we are seeing some exports, but some months is a little bit better than others. I wouldn't mind. So the question around some of this stuff is whether we get that set up to export oil, or do we wait for the kind of the fuel components of it. I'm going to see some construction happening over here. This is being rolled, so at least we can get access for the prison. Prison out of stuff yet? No, not really. They don't struggle with it at all. So that's good. Everything else is kind of being built. So we may have to up this to 20 people just to make sure that we don't run into problems. This is almost full, so hopefully we can start building something else. I want to make sure that we keep as many workers in the area as we can. I don't want any of these people still living with their parents kind of situation. How's this going? If we do all, just want to have a look at that. So no, it is pretty reasonable, right? Still have plenty of uneducated people, and it's only slowly going down. But at least, I mean, these other numbers are pretty significant, and we are constantly moving on that. So we are moving on this. We are getting more university education. And our productivity is up at 88%, so that's really looking good. It's a visa there. The field study is almost done, so we can maybe have a look at spending some money on a facility of sorts. But we do need the workers, though. But we don't have any place for them to live just yet, so we'll continue to expand that a little bit. Now, let's have a look at this side here and see if we can't generate a little bit more. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we need another shopping center, right? So if we grab ourselves another shop, and I do max visitors. We do another one of these. They are pretty nice, actually, and well, they are pretty pricey. Let's have a quick look. If we go with this one instead, 12 tons. Yeah, 3 tons. Oh, that's just a small store. Yeah, that's a lot. So maybe a small shopping center instead. And how much does this actually carry in terms of meat? Yeah, so the meat storage here becomes a big issue. So we'll have to buy an additional. Yeah. But ultimately, that might still be what we do. So if we were to build a small shopping center, kind of in this location here, we'll keep a little bit of room behind there just in case we wanted it. If we do this, let's start planning that out because that will actively give us some stuff. Okay, so we've got everything we need here now, right? Perfect. So that's all set up. What we don't have is steel. Okay, well, we're definitely bringing in steel. So what we could say is, you guys, please go ahead and add this to the mix. And of course, we would like you to just bring in some steel over here. So at least now, oh, these guys are, oh, are we in trouble? No. So why are they just kind of hanging out over here? Nothing to repair, no workers. Okay, so that's the first point. Let's quickly get a little path through here. So now the research program is done. I will quickly pay for that. And now, are we within walking distance of some workers? We are. Beautiful. So let's hope to see some workers arrive in this area. Yeah, here they come. So we should be able to sort some stuff out now. Okay, nothing to repair, and we do have workers. So let's just go to about half workers there. And let's buy ourselves a vehicle just so that we've got something. Actually, should be able to buy a US vehicle. So if we were to buy this one at quite a price. Yeah, let's just buy it. So now we've got one vehicle. So it can go and allow repair in building vehicles on lines. Allow repair cancel when long idle. Don't know what that means. Max number of workers per vehicle. The max. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. Got 8 vehicles that can be repaired. So let's. So at the moment, it can repair vehicles in all of these buildings. It'll go to those buildings only. So now the question is, distribution offices out there. Let's up that number. So now distribution offices are being picked up. That should give us access to most. Good. Okay, fuel is an issue. Every now and again, we see these vehicles stopping for fuel. It was a pretty expensive. Wow, what did we import? It must be steel. It's the steel going into this thing. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, well, we'll need to stabilize ourselves a little bit beyond that. But at least now we should be able to do vehicle repair. Do we have something that tells us about... if we were to look at this guy, right? Does it allow for repair? So let's just say allow for repair. Something, searching for repair station. got 3 workers on it. Doesn't really matter. What will it do? So I don't quite know. Will it drive in here and get itself repaired? Or what does the situation look like? That's what I'm trying to figure out, how this thing actually functions. I know it can repair vehicles that's parked over there. But if a vehicle is allowed for repair, will it come here and how will that work is kind of what I'm on about. Okay, so the field study is done. Now, what does this mean for us? So if we go and look at that, so the field study gave us nothing. We can't build an oil refinery. Is basically what we're saying. So this needs a refinery project. Really? A plastics factory requires plastics chemistry. So what on earth are we on about here? So, okay, so what we'll need to do is let's just have a look at our research tree. If we go and look at the fuel study, bitumen study is separate. It's about how the crude oil should be processed to turn into bitumen, which can then be used to manufacture asphalt. Okay, well, let's start working on the bitumen study straight away. Get as many people on it as we can so we can move things along a little bit quicker. This construction is underway, so I like that. That's been done. This construction should be underway. Yes, absolutely. We just need a few workers in there. That's what we're struggling with at the moment. This is filling up quite neatly. So this is we're unable to get electronics. Oh, are we out? Ooh. Let's have a bit of a look. We have no electronics. Yeah, we are. We're definitely struggling with some of this stuff. So let's get that one built so that we can probably get more vehicles on our stuff here. So I'd move people over, just get more vehicles in there so that we can run. So electronics has arrived, so now electronics will move over here. But a very small, not that small, but anyway, we will get electronics sorted out. People are now saying they're a little bit unhappy because they're probably not able to get electronics. Some people are complaining about crime. It's a bit of an interesting one. Because crime, I don't believe, is any level of problem at the moment. I mean, we're getting crimes and the likes, and this is slowly coming up. We may have to up our number a little bit just to make sure we're making use of that. But yeah, we certainly need more people. Workers is a challenge for us, and we're trying to do our best to kind of sustain ourselves a little bit. Workers is, well, here should be okay. Everything is working. Let's get this guy repaired. Oh, this guy's been repaired. Somehow this guy's been repaired, and I didn't see how it did that. So let's have a quick look. Let's keep this guy open here just for a minute and just keep an eye on what it's doing. Is it going to go and collect workers? So they're both there at the same time. So certainly one of them might have come out of the repair station. So this guy is now doing what? It is searching for a repair station. So what is it doing? Is it going to go in here? No. So I do want to figure out at what point does it actually go and get itself repaired. So it's 39% wear and tear. We really do need to get it repaired. All I want to do is see what it does. So let's follow it around a little bit. We do need to kind of calm ourselves down with everything we're doing, just because we are our money is not healthy at the moment. So we want to make sure that we keep running money in a reasonable way. Yeah, I kind of like our industrial complex over here. Yeah, take your workers down to other places. Prefabs is moving around. That's good. Buying a lot of steel at the moment. Oh, that might be full. I'll have to have a look at this dump now, the ash dump. Okay, so now let's see what it's doing now. I want to see if it's now moving to, or maybe it just goes to the bus end station because there it will actually get repaired. If it's got a facility on its line that can get it, where it can get repaired at, does that make a difference? Oh my. Oh my. Traffic congestion. Yeah. Oh, it's going to turn. There you go. I just want to keep an eye on this. Look at our facilities, all the smokestacks doing their thing. Happy to see that. Happy to see everything doing its thing. I wouldn't mind having that smokestack turn that into electricity for us, which we should still figure out how we're gonna actually use that electricity without cutting off our resilience from the border. That's one of those things that we need to make sure we know. Okay, yes, arriving at the end station. I'm assuming now it's going to get repaired. Yeah, now it is being repaired at the end station. So that's happening. These guys are actively doing that. I do wonder at what rate it's using all of these things. Yeah, it is taking a fair bit of steel to do that. I'm always a little bit cautious about some of these things, but it is taking a little bit of steel on. Yeah, so it's just getting repaired, really. There we go, and now it's repaired, 0% wear and tear. Okay, so at the moment, that's how that works. What would be interesting is if we had some vehicles. Oh, crap. Is this guy out of fuel? This guy's out of fuel. Oh, my God. Yeah. This is a problem. This is a problem. I'm gonna do a little bit of a cheat here. In the sense that I'm just gonna grab us a little bit of fuel there. So that we can keep running. But so what that means is we do need to get this guy up and running because we need more vehicles. I was quite worried about the fuel for a while now. Because we just don't have the vehicles, but we need to sort this out. This will kill us completely if we don't, fix this. And something like this could be quite devastating to us. We did see that in the previous series where we needed to fix this through quickly being able to reallocate vehicles to come and do this. We were at that point at least able to do some stuff. Wow, look at these guys come in. Is that a new piece of, yeah, probably a new piece of construction, a new construction phase that's starting. Yeah, just get a few of these guys filled up, and then I'll stop this now, and then hopefully we'll be able to improve our fuel distribution from the other facility. Okay, I think that should be holding us up there now. Okay, I think now we should be okay. Let's cancel that. So now these last vehicles can get their fuel out there. Wow, that's practically everything. How much did you get? Almost everything. This guy is looking for fuel. Yeah, so unfortunately I will need to do a little bit more of this. So let's quickly buy a little bit more fuel there, and then at the same time let's get rid of it. The intent is not to do that, but I'm not going to be, risking the playthrough to not fix this thing because I don't have that in mind. So that is saying to me is we probably have fuel problems on a much wider scale. Yeah, here you can see it. We don't have fuel in this location. So where are my fuel? My fuel trucks are busy. That's the thing. We need more fuel vehicles. And that's partly why we're getting to build this. And I'm kind of tempted to just actually get it done. Wow, it's pricey, guys. It's super pricey. Let's just get it built. Once I get it built, I'll move this over and we'll get the fuel. We'll get a few more cisterns in place to sort that out. So here we now had some fuel being delivered. No, it just filled up, I think. Yeah, we need to be really cautious about that. Okay, now with that in mind, what I want to do is I want to say copy. No. Copy, here we go. Copy tasks to another building. Copy the tasks and paste it there. So now all of our tasks have been pasted here. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to move all of the vehicles from this one to that one. Okay. This is our imports, right? Okay. So what I'll do is I'll clear off all of these tasks. Okay. So we're not doing anything with that anymore. This is new. This is the new, what did I call this building? Termolsky Imports. So this is Termolsky Imports Large. Just leave it as that, and we'll just rename that building as Imports. So we can see that pretty comfortably. Now, what we will need to do is I would like to buy a couple of... Ooh, what is that? That's a cistern, but... Ooh, look at this guy. This is the one I want. Grab me one more of these and get you underway so we can get a cistern moving. That's a good one, and it's a pretty quick one, actually. How much does it take? 17 tons. Those take like 11, so that's a reasonable one there. Good. We have a refrigerator truck, so we might at some point swap them around a little bit. Hopefully that cistern is going to help us out a little bit more. I do hope so. So that's done, the bitumen study. The next thing we need to do is get the refinery project going. So make sure we move on the refinery project. Good stuff. Good stuff. We're probably getting to the end of this episode. We've made some progress. I've seen so few fires in this game. Yes, we have vehicles on their way. Please get here quick enough. I think they should be getting here. There they come. Yeah, they'll get here in time. They'll get here in time. Just about making sure we've got workers there. Now, I wanted to have a look at these guys. So if this guy was to need to search for a... Okay, so there we go. Getting that in place. We should be winning that. Yeah, pretty effectively at the moment. Wow. Well, anyway, we should be comfortable to finish that off. Excellent. Thank you so much. That's done. Now, no bricks can be exported at the moment. Now, if I go with this guy and I said, search for, allow for repair, right? Oh, what does that actually show me? It's got 12%, where after repair is 0, workers required 3, it needs 0. Okay, that's good. So it actually shows you. So if I say this, what does it do? What does it do? Does it go out? Or does this vehicle... Yeah, there we go. Vehicle's on the way to go and service things. Wow, this is interesting. So there we go. So now the truck is going out. So we probably don't need this large truck, but I'm still glad. So the truck is going to come out and come and repair it over here. Okay. So what we need to just bear in mind is we've got so many vehicles running that this might get inundated pretty quickly. But hopefully it's not going to be the case. Wow, our money is just not there, is it? What does this look like? We've got enough food there, and we've got enough of everything here, really. Actually, mechanical components is low. I might buy another covered hull. So give me another covered hull there as well. So that guy can start running a little bit more. We need more vehicles doing their thing. And what I'll do is I might buy even another cistern. Just get the cisterns moving so we move fuel out a little bit quicker. How's fuel going? We still don't have any fuel there. I honestly hope we're not seeing vehicles drop in terms of fuel. Okay, so this guy did finish it off. Yeah, so that guy did do its repair and now it's heading back out. So it's got service materials on board. Okay, well, that's interesting. So presumably with that in mind, it can do multiple stops. I'm hoping that's the case, really. Okay. One of the things that I've always wondered about this game, we've got so many vehicles, right? If we take the list of vehicles, the vehicle list all over the map, How many are there? We can't even see how many there are. So many. If each of these vehicles actually had a driver come out of our population, we'd be in deep trouble. Deep trouble. Our happiness has dropped a little bit. I think it was due to our electronics shortages, but that's kind of better now. Okay, all of this is under construction, and so hopefully we'll see these guys finish off their construction. Oh, at the moment we don't have the workers here. So what I wanted to do, at the very least, do a little bit of this. Let's run that a little bit that way. And yeah, just build all of that for me, please. So now we can get some workers from the surrounding areas a little bit more, and we've got our little paths to kind of deal with that a little bit. Our government loyalty here is it's a little bit hurting. It's not great yet. 37, 36. Oh, it's dropped a little bit. That is interesting. But I think we are ultimately doing that. Hopefully that's driving our happiness. Can we up this number a little bit more? Let's get that a little bit better. I wouldn't mind upping this a lot more without necessarily costing us happiness. That seems to be a reasonable one. This should have been done, right? Yeah, absolutely. So now, advertisement campaign in Soviet countries. Okay, that's interesting. What is this? High quality, effective living? Let's get that going. That's definitely something I want to do. How's this moving along? Good. So we're almost there where we can do the fuel study thing. Okay, so I think we've got a bit of a handle on how vehicle maintenance works. Let's have a quick overview of what is going on with our money. It's not good at the moment. We're generally not getting enough workers here, and our exports is not where it used to be. Well, actually, in the month of November, it was pretty high. We just spent a lot of money on imports as well because of this. But I think that's over now. We've got everything there. We really have everything there now. So we're almost done and ready to be able to generate our own power from waste products. This thing is not quite full yet, but it's getting there. And we will need to get another spot for it. We're burning a lot of stuff here. So hopefully, slowly we will do that. Let's get over here and have a look at, let's close that out. And let's have a look at our loan situation. So we're in a position where we can borrow 1.25, but we're still owing a 1.6 almost. So what I would like to see us is just finish off some of that so that we can consolidate these loans. But we're not in a position where we can actually do that yet. And we're paying a lot. We should be paying less. But hopefully, if we stabilize a little bit, if we kind of finish this kind of thing, this thing is what's cost us a lot. And if we stabilize that a little bit, if we start another export industry out over here, we don't have the workers for it though. But if we start it here and we maybe fund that out of dollars, we'll be able to at least export some more stuff. I'm not too uncomfortable with where we're at, but we do need to go to a little bit more effort in terms of getting things sorted out. Yeah, most of our vehicles are still on the move, so we probably need a few more cisterns running different locations. Excellent. So there is at least fuel available in a few more spots. And I started this area here. I want to plan out a little bit more for this area, so that we can bring in some more workers on this side. Yeah, maybe we'll even need multiple shops, to be honest, unless we do a slightly larger shop here. Might be better for us to just do a larger shop, because we do need to acknowledge that the buildings that we're going to build now is going to be bigger and bigger. And we probably, although actually this one can take about 150, so we do need to just keep an eye on how we're going to do that. But I think everything is running along fairly nicely, where our productivity is not bad. It's not bad. That's okay. Our unemployment is slowly creeping up again. We don't have major issues. Oh, this thing was built. Oh, I like it. Okay, just quickly, we'll set this up. Oh, this building does no drinking water. That is a bit of a bummer. Unless our technical service, we'd have no place where we can get water for technical services. Something that we may have to think about. So if we get a vehicle here, is there anything here that we can grab? There's no vehicles that they would like. If we go over here, what kind of vehicles do we have? We can just get a cheap one, right? We don't need super effective vehicles here. Just this cheap one here is probably going to be okay. Or that one. Okay, so let's say do one truck there. Thank you. Give me a truck. That's good. Hopefully that'll do its trick. And what I want to do here is buy ourselves one prison bus. The prison bus, please. What can we get? 6 vehicles, 6, 18. This runs 18. I'd rather, maybe I do the smaller ones. So let's just grab these smaller ones. That's the cheapest options. 1, 2. 2 of them I think is going to be more than sufficient. And we'll just set up a line from there. So I'm going to say pick up your guys over here and drop them off over there to go and work. And I don't even care that you don't have water. So make a start on that one. Copy it and paste it over there, and then make a start on that one as well. And so hopefully we'll just run some workers in there. Need workers to fell trees. That's fine. That's coming through. I do wonder. I think if it doesn't have drinking water, it's just lower productivity. But we'll see. We'll see if we need anything more substantial than that. We'll keep an eye on it, and we do need to keep an eye on this. I think. Will we get a message that this is full? We'll not, but we'll need to keep an eye on that. Is this done? This is done. Okay, it's got workers there already. So in the next episode, we'll set this up and see how we can generate some power and what we can do with that power. But at the moment, we've at least had a look at how road vehicle maintenance does. Oh, this is done. Excellent. So now people can move into this facility as well. That's good. Excellent. So we don't need this as urgently, but at least our population can continue to grow. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have some comments, please leave them down below. If you've enjoyed this episode and this series, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. This is working now, right? It is working. Excellent. So we are starting to see wood being generated in this area, right? There we go. Slowly we're seeing wood being generated. That's fine. That's absolutely perfect. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.